What is going on, my dudes? Tystra here, back again with another Genshin Impact video. And if you guys like the content, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And as always, comment about what you thought about this video. Now, today, we are going to be continuing our build series. We just got done with Ganyu, and now we're going to talk about Zhongli. Now, before I get into it, I apologize. This was supposed to release sooner. However, we did have the new skins update thing going on, so I wanted to get that information out to you guys as soon as possible. So my apologies that this is a little bit later, but it is going to be at least a fun build, at least for now. I'm not going to go too much into it right now, but let's go ahead and get into Mr. Zhongli. Now, Zhongli here is a fantastic unit and one of the most busted units in the game, or has consistently been one of the most busted units in the game. And the reason solely being because of his shield. His shield is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that you could do him in so many, or you can do his build in so many different ways, it's fantastic to even just watch. So let's go ahead and get into the first thing about it. Let's look at these attributes really quick.
Wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Of course, Zhongli. But as you can see, his stats are pretty like based around more so HP, because that's what you want to build up first. You want to mainly build up the HP, in my personal opinion. My build is going to consist of a cross between two of them, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily the best build. But as you can see, crit rate and crit damage are not my main focus on this guy. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about weapon choices. Now, my Zhongli is more of a burst support, but also a shield support at the same time. This Zhongli was built before we got Tenacity of the Millilith. So this was, I think, right when he released, I was like, okay, I'm going to go for a certain set. So bear in mind, I have not redone the Zhongli, but I plan to, because of what the shield support Zhongli, like solely shield support Zhongli, can do. It's absolutely bonkers. But let's go ahead and get into it. This is a combination of shield support and burst support Zhongli. You could also run him as a physical DPS. I don't think you should. And obviously, Tectone has shown that you could run a cryo DPS, which is absolutely hilarious, by the way. I'm just going to point that out. GG on that one. But you could have a multitude of different weapons on this guy. Since I use him as mainly burst support, I use stuff like Staff of Homa, Primordial Jade Winged Spear, as you see here. For 4 stars, you could run the Catch. The Catch is obviously one of those things where it's a catch. You can use it for any pole arm user. It's fantastic for any of them, really. You could use Death Match, Lithic Spear, as I see here. A lot of people using Black Cliff Pole. You could use that. Favonius Lance. The game's been out long enough. If you don't have Favonius Lance, you're either new or I feel really, really bad for you. But there's a lot of different things that you could do with the Zhongli when it comes to weapons. And that makes sense because, again, it's not about what damage he could do. It's mainly about what support he can lead. Now, again, if you're going to run a physical DPS Zhongli, you could change it up. You could still use Primordial Jade Winged Spear. It's his best 5-star, but his best weapon for a physical DPS is definitely Crescent Pike. So bear in mind, there's differences between that. But if you're running him solid just shield support, you could actually run him with a 3-star Black Tassel, which is very weird. We haven't really looked at many characters that could use 3-star weapons only. That might be another thing I want to look into. But, you know, he's one of them. Albedo used to be one of them until he got his own special weapon. So, I digress on that. But, yes, physical DPS, use Crescent Pike as your 4-star, or if you don't want to use Crescent Pike and you want to do 5-star, Primordial Jade Winged Spear. Shield support, Black Tassel, your 3-star, Favonius Lance, your 4-star. Those are really the only two I could recommend for that. And then burst support, obviously use Staff of Homa, Jade Winged Spear. You could use Skyward Spine. You could do the Catch. All sorts of different choices for that. Now then, let's go ahead and get into artifacts. So, as I said, mine is kind of a mixture of shield support and burst support, because at the time, I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. So, we actually ran 2-piece Archaic and 2-piece Noblesse. That is one of the burst support, I would say, best builds for him. Now, you could definitely run Emblem of Severed Fate now that that's out, but I still use 2-piece because it still gets the job done. For the middle one, obviously for me, I went HP percentage because you want to build up your HP because your shield is based off of how high your HP is and how long it lasts, which is perfect for the characters that I'm going to show you that I'm going to be using today. For his goblet, I used a geo damage bonus just because I wanted to get a little bit of damage with it as well. But I made sure that my main goal was how much HP I could do. But again, I'm going to probably switch him to a shield support Zhongli only because of the fact that the shield I've seen on that is insane. My boy JMO, he uses shield support Zhongli and it's absolutely nuts. Crit rate obviously on him because with a burst support you could do crit rate or crit damage. If you're running shield support Zhongli, you could do HP across the board and you'll be fine. Now, there is the DPS set, which is, you know, physical DPS if you want to run it. For your middle stat, you could do attack percentage or HP percent. For your goblet, you run a physical damage cup, and then for your circlet, you run either crit rate or crit damage, depending on what you're missing. For substats, let's go ahead and just split it into 3 tiers here. Physical DPS, if you're running a physical DPS, your substats will be crit rate and crit damage as your priority, with attack percentage and HP as your second priority. If you're running shield support Zhongli, HP, all the way. Burst support, crit rate, crit damage, and then attack and HP. So pretty much the same thing. And then, of course, if you're looking at what you want to put your, like, let's say talents towards to build them up, as you can see, I'm running 668 because for a burst support, you want to kind of run, you know, your burst, obviously, because that's what you're trying to do is get your burst off as much as you can. But if you're running shield support, use your skill because that's how you're going to get your shields. If you're running a physical DPS, then obviously your normal attack. So for me, obviously burst support, I wanted to make sure that I get as much off as I can with that. So to get into the next stage of my master plan, as you can see, we're actually in a dungeon, and this is to get light talent books because Yaimiko is on the horizon. But I kind of wanted to show off what Zhongli could do with certain characters. Now, as you can see, my team consists of Hu Tao, Zhongli, Raiden, and Kokomi. So what we're going to do is we're going to start this, and we're going to first get our shield off, and then switch to Hu Tao. Now, as you can see, I'm doing damage, but watch as people try to hit me. Like, I'll even stand here and take some hits. Come on, hit me. Oh, man, that's crazy. Hit me again. Oh, that's 3 times. Boom, look at this. I'm not taking any damage. My shield is still up. There we go. My shield's down. And then in that time, my shield comes right back up. That's the whole thing about Zhongli, is that the shield is going to constantly come back up in time with Hu Tao. So Zhongli and Hu Tao go like 2 peas in a pod, not just in story, but also in here. Now, same with Raiden Shogun. When Raiden comes out and she's doing her damage, you know, she's going to be constantly attacking. And this guy right here, he's obviously enraged because we killed his little buddy. But this guy can't really do anything. He's not able to really hurt me. Oh, there goes my shield. But we get the shield back up. We get a burst support to get some more Orbeez. You know, elemental particles or whatever you want to call them. But these two are like the perfect balance. And then, of course, if you're running shield support and you want a healer, boom. Either Kokomi, you could run Barbara, Bennett, anybody. And it works because then you get the time. You could, like, use Kokomi to kind of get everything going. And then you could even run a shield on Kokomi to keep that distance. But also, if they close the distance, it's not going to hurt you as badly. So let's go ahead and claim these really quick while I talk a little bit more. Zhongli is very versatile with his teams. Honestly, he works with a lot of people. But I feel as though when you run Zhongli, you want to run him as the burst / shield support. You don't want to run him as a DPS because that's not his bread and butter. His bread and butter is being that shield support. So, you know, a couple of really big characters you could run him with. Obviously, Hu Tao, Raiden Shogun, Kokomi. You could even run him with Ganyu. And the thing with running him with Ganyu, and it's perfect that they're both out at the same time, is that Ganyu is slow for her second charge. Like, granted, you know, when you're doing charge shots, it's going to be a little bit slower on the uptake because you're doing more damage. However, with the shield support that Zhongli gives, like, she could take a couple hits before she fires off her arrow and be perfectly fine. Especially with the shield support Zhongli, because your HP is going to be massive, so your shield's going to last longer. Ito, Kazuha, Zhao. He works legitimately with everybody. So that's the one thing I will say about Zhongli when it comes to before 2.5. Now, granted, I don't know what's going to happen with 2.5. I don't know everything that's going to happen with, you know, characters and builds and stuff, but there's rumors obviously. And it kind of came out this last update, or no, last two updates where we had, you know, the Rift Hounds. And the Rift Hounds basically are corrosive. No matter how much shield you have, they cut through your shield. So I think that's where the state of the game is going. So unfortunately, in the basically the later part of the game, Zhongli, I don't think is going to be obsolete, but it's going to be harder to use him in the way that you want to use him for shield support. Burst support, he'll still do fine, but shield support's going to get hit pretty hard because of it, I think. However, I still think that Zhongli 90% of the time is a fantastic character to use. He's great with whatever you put him to do, and he just works. Like, he literally makes it so your team is almost untouchable. So, would I say that Zhongli is worth the summons? Absolutely. I love Zhongli. You know, I play on, you know, English dub right now, and Keith Silverstein does an amazing job with Zhongli. Not only that, but, you know, his constellations are fantastic. Once you get this going, you grant a Jade shield to your party members as well nearby. So if you're playing multiplayer, he's a great multiplayer character. He's got so many things about him that's fantastic. So definitely summoned for him. Overall, Zhongli, you get a 9.5 out of 10. You're a fantastic character. Love you to death. But what do you guys think? How are you running your Zhonglis? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Notification bells. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to entertain you. We will be back. I think the next video I have scheduled after this is actually talking about Lantern Rite, because Lantern Rite's just about to end, so let's go ahead and get that review out. And then, of course, we got a couple other things. Episode 2 of the crossover series that I'm doing. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Again, guys, love you all to death, and as always, we will see you guys in the next video. Take care and be safe.